Hello everyone, Mixfant Gaming here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're back here in Mech Arena and the event, the Crate Rush, is now live. So we're just going to quickly look at it, my initial gut reactions, good, bad. My opinion might change as the event progresses. But anyways, let's hop into it here. So we go into the event. You'll see I have 2 of the event tokens already. I did finish the Battleathon event, so that's where I got that other one. So we look at the details here. And as I mentioned in my previous video, not to assume that you're going to get the Javelin Rack 8 and the Missile Rack 12 in this event. As you can see, it's not here. And actually, surprisingly, the Arachnus full mech isn't here either, even though we had actually been told the Arachnus would be in the event. So maybe it's coming out in a different event down the road. I'm not sure. But that just leads to a little bit more questions about when the items in here are going to be in the progress path, because the Arachnus, as you know, was in a previous event a couple months ago, and it still has not found its way into the progress path. So I'm a little concerned about that. In the weapons that actually do appear in here, when will they be put into the progress path? For those who are unable to obtain it in these crates, they can actually purchase it and start using, leveling up, and obtaining the blueprints. Because as of right now, the way things are, unless you have the mech or the bot, or the mech or the weapon, or you've unlocked it in the progress path but you haven't actually purchased it, then you can't obtain any blueprints for them. So while it's in here, for instance, the disc launcher, if you don't have it and it's not in the progress path, you can't get the blueprints for it in the crates, which is a little concerning because people, even though you don't have the item, it'd be nice so you can at least start collecting the blueprints for it. So I'm not sure if they're maybe going to tweak this down the road a little bit and see if there's a way you can still obtain blueprints if the item is not in the progress path. So how do you obtain it? You can, right now, so far, the only way that you can get it is through these 2 events right here, and one other way I'll get here in a second. So the Battleathon, your typical Battleathon, I was really surprised that you only get 1 single token for doing the Battleathon event. Similar for the Development Derby, you only get 1, but as you know, with the Development Derby, you have to spend resources to actually do this thing. And I have always been a negative on the Development Derby. I don't think it's appropriate for the game. It's forcing you to spend resources on upgrading. It's forcing you to spend resources on ranking up. It's forcing you to use A-coins here. If you wanted to try to save your resources, which is what I'm trying to do for if I actually do happen to win the disc launcher, I don't want to be spending this stuff. And yes, you can upgrade really small weapons. Like I did do the one here where upgrade a mech or a weapon 5 times. I upgraded I think it was my RPG 2s or whatever it was. I haven't really upgraded them at all since I started the game. So they're relatively cheap. I probably did it total for about like 25,000 credits. So to me, it was worth it. But again, the more times you do this, the less you'll have of those early game weapons to upgrade on the cheap. There's a lot of players out there that have things maxed out already. And how are they, if they happen to have a fully maxed out hanger, there's not much they can do. How are they going to upgrade a mech or a weapon? How are they going to rank up a mech or weapon if they haven't pretty much mostly everything maxed? And then that means since there's 2 items out of here that you can't do, you can't get that event token. So I really wish Plarium would go back to the drawing board on this stuff, especially when they're releasing these events, to make it so it's fair for everybody and everybody can obtain them with basically an equal amount of grinding available to them. So what's the other way you can get these? Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, get it for real dollars. We all knew this was going to happen. It really shouldn't be a shock. But what does shock me is the price they put in here for a certain amount of tokens. So for me, it's going to cost me $130 if I want to buy 19 tokens. Why it's 19 and not 20, I don't know. 19 is kind of a weird number to me. Now, going into here, I wasn't sure how this was going to operate. is it like the Vault Blitz where when you roll these things, if you get the items, they're basically grayed out and you can't get them again? I think that is the case for a lot of this stuff, but when you get into the resources, I'm not sure if that's the case. I've heard from one person, they spent like 500 euros trying to get the disc launcher. So if you're spending 500, that means you're going into here and you're opening a heck of a lot more than the 18 items that are here. I haven't seen any opening videos, so I really don't know. And I'm trying to save my tokens because I want to do kind of a mini opening of this stuff. And I don't want to just open it once or twice and then tack on a game afterwards. I kind of want to make an opening video. But I'm on the fence about this. Like if you're going to always get resources, it's just like if you look at the details here. So that's details of the weapon. Where was it here? Oh, it's the possible crate contents. So you only have a 1.2% chance of obtaining the prototype weapon. Now, I've seen some people, they've actually gotten, I've seen posts where they've gotten in one or two turns, which is extremely lucky, and congrats to them. Me, I am not lucky whatsoever in anything, shape, or form of these kind of randomized events, whether it's in Mech Arena or other games. So you see, you get, down the bottom, you start getting the resources. You get the 11% chance of getting fortune keys. I'm actually surprised that the fortune keys are more of a percentage odds to get than the credits. Because usually the way people treat it is the fortune keys are the hardest to get, even above A coins. You have to grind the tournaments a lot, and if you compare how many A coins you get versus how many fortune keys you get in a heat, you get very few fortune keys in comparison to what you get in A coins. I'm kind of a little surprised to see that. I would like to get some fortune keys out of it. So if I got them, I wouldn't really be that upset. I would like to see the credits completely removed from this, but as I said, I don't know how these work. I think the blueprints, when you get them the first time, that's it. You don't get them again. But I could be mistaken. This is just me kind of assuming, given from a couple things I've seen thus far. But again, I have not seen any videos on the opening of these. So it could be that this is all completely random, and you can't actually knock things off like you do in the Vault Blitz, where, for instance, you get the skin, you can't get the skin again. So we'll see there. Obviously, if you get the disc launcher, you're not going to be able to get it again. I would kind of try to assume that it's the same for the blueprints. Once you get the blueprints and you don't get them again. I hope that's the way it is anyways. But anyways, my gut reaction is I'm not really happy with how this event is shaping up so far. I don't know, given that the tournament starts tomorrow, if any of these tokens will be in the tournaments. The post that Plarium put out on Facebook and in-game, actually if we go into the in-game news here, you see the crate rush here. It says, in the second paragraph, to open these crates, you'll need event tokens, which come from exactly where you expect events. If you miss a few events or aren't getting the resources you're looking for, you can also grab extra tokens from the shop. Nowhere in this post does it say anything at all about tournaments. And I know in previous videos that I've seen people put up, they've tied the event tokens to tournaments. So we'll see tomorrow when the tournaments go live, but according to the post here from Plarium, right in the in-game, there is no mention whatsoever about tournaments. So from there, I'm taking the assumption that it is all done based off of events. Now, what events are coming out that we can get these tokens, I have no idea. How many of these tokens you can get in these events, again, I have no idea. It only goes for basically a week, and then it's done. One thing you should know is that if you don't use your tokens by the end of the event, you will not be able to save them. You cannot store them for future events. Apparently, they will be exchanged for some kind of resources or whatnot. Again, the conversion and what you get, I have no idea. Plarium has not said so. So if you're trying to go for this disc launcher, there's no reason to actually hold on to the tokens. Just use them, get the resources, get whatever else you can get out of it. Hopefully you can get the disc launcher. And if you have gotten the disc launcher, please let me know below. I'm kind of curious as to see how many people have already obtained it. As you can see also with my hanger, in the previous video I mentioned that there was this bug with the torque skin. You can see that Plarium has actually fixed that. It is now back to its original gold and white color. And I've also heard that the damage with the ArcTorrent 10s have also been fixed as of today. So hopefully, if you do happen to be using the ArcTorrent 10s, you will notice a difference when it comes to the damage. Anyways, I'm curious as what everybody's thoughts are when it comes to this event so far. I am a bit disappointed given the hype that's been kind of around this. I expected more. I did expect, like I said, the Arachnos to be in there. We were actually told the Arachnos was going to be in there, and it's not. Granted, I already have the Arachnos, so it doesn't really matter to me. But for those of you who don't, it would be kind of nice that you get a chance to get in a full mech. Beyond that, I really wish they would give us a little bit more information up front about what's kind of going to be in the event, whether it's blueprints, resources, etc. And I've asked them if they can kind of give me an average of what they expect people to get for tokens in the week. They said that they can't tell me. So, no, unfortunately, I really don't have any further information than pretty much what we already see. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more guidance in the coming days. And hopefully, you guys out there will be able to obtain the disc launcher, because I know I probably won't get it. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Until next time, cause some mayhem on the field for me.